Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview. We will begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. So we are discussing from the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are discussing the pastime of Prithu Maharaj, his appearance and his various activities. So yesterday we discussed how when Prithu Maharaj he was born, he appeared from by the churning of the hands of Vena. So all the devatas and Brahmaji and all the great sages, they came, they appreciated and glorified the activities of Prithu Maharaj. And then after that, Prithu Maharaj told them, why are you glorifying me? Because I have not exhibited these activities. But still, nonetheless, the bards, the Vandis, they kept glorifying, telling that you are the incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So how can we not glorify you? And then they described how that one time Prithu Maharaj performed a Shivamedh Yagya, and the horse was stolen by Indra. And then based on these questions, based on these instances, Vidurji, he asks question to Maitreya Muni, please tell us why Earth took a form of cow, why Indra stole the horse, and all these questions, they formed the further discussion. And then Maitreya Muni described the whole story, how Indra, he stole the horses many times, and before that, Prithu Maharaj, he chased Mother Earth, who was in the form of a cow, and then ultimately Mother Earth surrenders. And then Prithu Maharaj, he milks out all the requirements. And then after that, when Prithu Maharaj he was doing yagya, then he had been determined to perform 100 Ashwamedh yagyas. On the performance of 100th yagya, Indra came and stole the horse thrice. As a result, Prithu Maharaj, he sent his son and he was about to kill Indra, but he was stopped by Brahmaji, and Brahmaji gave all the instructions to Prithu Maharaj why he should not kill Indra. And then ultimately Prithu Maharaj, he resisted from killing of Indra. And then this chapter ended, last chapter ended with all the Brahmanas, they're coming and they're glorifying the activities of Prithu Maharaj. So after this, today we'll be beginning this 20th chapter, which is entitled as Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prithu. So in this chapter, it will be described how Prithu Maharaj makes friends with Indra and he glorifies the Lord, and Supreme Lord, he gives benedictions and then he departs. So Maitreya Muni continues the discussion. He says, Bhagwan api Vaikuntha sakam Maghavata vibhu yagya yagyapati tushto yagya bhuktam abhashata. So Bhagwan api Vaikuntha, so then Supreme Lord Vaikuntha, he appeared on the scene along with Maghavata. Maghavata means Indra. So he came along with the Indra. So Yagyair Yagyapati Tushtaha. So then Supreme Lord, he told my Prithu Maharaj, he said that, "Oh Indra, oh Prithu Maharaj, this Indra has disturbed your 100th sacrifice. Now he has come with me. So please forgive him, forgive him." So therefore it is interesting that although all the mischief was done by Indra, but actually what is happening, Lord Vishnu is getting Indra along with him and he's telling Prithu Maharaj, you please forgive Indra. So this may look very confusing and little bewildering. अरे गलती कौन कर रहा है और lecture किसको मिल रहा है? It is normal, it is natural, just like in a family. If there are two brothers, one very young child and the elder brother, and then young child does some mistake, some mischief, and then as a result the elder brother also starts in that doing all the mischief, and they all start fighting. So when the mother will come, whom she will chastise first? She will chastise the elder brother. She will say, अरे ये तो छोटा है, ये तो समझता नहीं, ये ना समझ है, he is foolish person, but you are grown up, you should have understood. Why you also have to do the same thing? So that is the same thing which is happening here in the this episode of Indra and Prithu. So Brahmaji also says that Indra is so very stubborn. He is the most stubborn of all the devatas. But you, Prithu Maharaj, you are such a great devotee of the Lord. You are Mahabhagavat. You are incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, you please stop this fighting. Otherwise, Indra will keep on doing all the mischievous things. So Lord Vishnu, he uses a particular word Atmanam. So he says that, this Indra, he has come with me and, he is like myself. So why this Atmanam word is used? Prabhupada writes, a transcendentalist never accepts a living entity to be the body. See, he always see the soul in the heart of the living entity. So therefore, Supreme Lord is also saying, oh, this is myself, same. We are qualitatively same. Quantitatively we are different, but qualitatively we are same. So therefore Prabhupada writes, Lord Vishnu is telling Prithu Maharaj that this forgiveness is the quality of a person who is very, very advanced in spiritual knowledge. Forgiveness is a very, very important virtue we have to cultivate. So then after this, Lord Vishnu gives a series of instructions to Prithu Maharaj. He says, "O Prithu, do not harbor any malice for Indra. Sudhiya sadhavo loke naradeva anaruttama na vidruhyanti bhutebhya yarhinatma kalevaram." Sudhiya sadhavo loke. Sudhiya means those who are advanced in intelligence. Sudhiya. Dhiya means intelligence. Sudhiya, those who are advanced in intelligence. Sadhavo loke. They are eager to perform welfare activities for others. And that person who is ready to do welfare activities for others, he is called Naradeva and Narottama. He is considered best among the human beings. And therefore, this advanced human being, his quality and characteristic is he is working for the welfare of others. And therefore, na bhidruhyanti. Na bhidruhyanti means he does not harbor any malice towards others. Therefore, yarhinatma kalevaram, because they see that everybody is part and parcel of Krishna, so they don't harbor any malice. And Prabhupada always would say that the highest welfare activity is to give Krishna consciousness to others. That is the greatest welfare activity we can do. And Prabhupada writes an interesting thing. He says, in a daily life also, we find that when a madman commits a murder, he is excused even by a high court judge. Similarly, because living entities, we are in clutches of Maya, we become the victim of the three modes, and we are behaving in a wrong way. So therefore, whatever is done is being done under the influence of the modes of material nature. Na kartirtvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam swabhava tu pravartate. As Krishna says in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that everything is done according to the nature one has acquired by his previous life's activities. And based on that nature, he is acting under a particular mode of nature. So therefore, Those who are Sudhiya, those who are very, very intelligent, they are always seeing the spirit soul in the heart of all the living entities. And therefore, if somebody does a sinful action, they do not harbor malice because they know, oh, he is like a madman. He's working under the influence of the modes of nature. And then he says, Purushayadi muhyanti twadrisha deva mayaya shrama eva param jato dirghaya vriddha sevaya. He says, Purusha yadi muhyanti. If a personality like you is carried away, muhyanti, if he is carried away by the influence of nature, then what will twadrisham deva maya? If somebody gets influenced by my material energy and personality like you, then shrama eva param jato. All your advancement, whatever advancement you have performed, shrama eva hi kevalam. It is a useless waste of time. Dirghaya vriddha sevaya. So interesting word Lord Vishnu is telling to Prithu Maharaj, Dirghaya vriddha sevaya. He says, you have become so advanced by executing the instructions of the previous acharyas. So this vriddha sevaya, Prabhupada is telling that this is a very, very important word, very significant. The chance to serve the superiors by following their instructions. Some people ask, some devotees ask, Prabhuji, we are not getting chance to meet our spiritual master and ask questions personally. The instructions are given for everyone. The instructions are given in the lectures. Prabhupada has given all the instructions. In the books, all the instructions are there. So therefore, we have to serve the instructions of the great acharyas. Dirghaya vriddha sevaya. And for a long time, we have to keep on serving the instructions. And then we will become free from the illusory potency of the material nature. Therefore, Prabhupada writes, no one can become perfect in knowledge without being trained in the parampara system. So this treasure of vriddha seva, what is this vriddha seva? The opportunity to hear and follow the instructions of spiritual masters and the great teachers. If somebody gets a chance to come to Krishna consciousness, he is fortunate. If somebody gets a chance to come and hear from the teachers, he is more fortunate. If he gets a chance to hear regularly, he is most fortunate. And that does not end here. By hearing, what we have to do, we have to apply in our lives. The instructions of these great acharyas, we have to follow. And based on that following of the instructions, we'll develop realization. Knowledge becomes realization by service. If we serve the devotees, if we serve the instructions of the spiritual teachers, then our knowledge becomes realization. Whatever we are hearing every day, it is a knowledge. If we serve the spiritual teachers by actually applying our lives, then it will become realization. Then Lord Vishnu says, Atah kayam imam vidwan avidya kama karmabhi arabdha iti naivasmin pratibuddho anusajjate. He says that Atah kayam imam vidwan, those who are in full knowledge with that this body, this kaya, from how does it arise? Avidya, kam, karma bhi. One attains this body based on three things: avidya, kam, and karma. Ignorance. Based on that ignorance, one engages in sinful activities or fulfilling the desires. And to fulfill the desires, the activities which he performs becomes the cause of the next body. So therefore, people who are attracted by this illusory nature, they get addicted to these fruitive activities, and these activities become the cause of illusion. So therefore, Prabhupada writes that the body has two types of activities. First, we think that sense gratification will help us. And secondly, we think that we will become happy by trying to satisfy the desires that arise from the illusory body. So therefore, this is the biggest misconception people have in this world, They think sense gratification will give me happiness. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says again and again, yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkhayonaya evate. Sense gratification in this world is pregnant with the miseries. It will come for sure. So therefore, Prabhupada writes that whatever we desire in this world, it is based on the illusion, bodily conception, aham and mameti. This is the illusion, and because of that illusion, we go on performing all the sinful activities, all the desire fulfilling activities. So therefore, Lord Vishnu says, how can a person who has no attachment to this body and the things which are coming of this body, Atma Jaya Sutagar and all that, a learned person can never be attached to these things, and such people who are not attached to the body, they want to develop the knowledge of the super soul. So then Prithu Maharaj tells, Lord Vishnu tells the qualities of the super soul, and the 9 qualities of super soul are described in the 7th verse of this 20th chapter. And Chakravarti Thakur writes that these 9 qualities, they distinguish the Paramatma from the Atma. Jiva and Supreme Lord, they are distinguished by these 9 qualities. Ekah, Shuddhah, Swayam Jyoti, Nirgunaha, Gunashrayah, Sarvaga, Anavritah, Sakshi, Niratmatmanah, and Paraha. These are 10 qualities. These are 10 qualities of a super soul. And then Lord Vishnu says, one who acquires this knowledge of the Paramatma, he is not affected by the modes of material nature. So in our day-to-day activities, we are always, in so many different modes, this mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, they are always fighting. Sattam rajas tamaiti, guna prakriti sambhava nibhadananti mahabaho dehe dehinam abhyayam. Everybody in this world, they are constantly, pulled apart by one after another, all these 3 modes. For example, in this class, just now we are hearing this Bhagavatam. So now this Bhagavatam, when it starts at 7 p.m. or 7:30, so then everybody is excited. Mode of goodness is very prevalent. Now we'll hear Bhagavatam. And then as, class goes on, and when it extends up beyond 8:15, then people become restless. Oh, kab tak chalega? 8:15 ko khatam hona chahiye tha, abhi tak hua nahi hai. The restlessness comes in. That is mode of passion coming. And some people, some of the devotees, when they are, too much already, tired with the whole day's activity, then they think, okay, just anyways, video is not on, nobody is watching. So just take rest for some time. Again, I'll come back. Mode of ignorance sets in, So therefore, the modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness, they are always competing amongst each other. How to come out of these modes? Only by the process of bhakti. Mam chayo avyavicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunana samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. And therefore, having realized this, one engages in bhakti mishra gyan. One practices, one develops knowledge which is mixed with bhakti. And therefore, what is this practice? So the practice is swadharma mam nityam. He has to practice this swadharma. Swadharma means that is varnashram system. Everybody has a particular nature which is acquired from his previous life's activities. That is called swadharma. So we have to understand what is our nature and work according to that. That is called swadharma. And Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he gives a very wonderful line to understand what is this varnashram. He says, from your place, at your pace, join the race. From your place, wherever you may be, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, doctor, engineer, chartered accountant, a laborer, or painter or artist, anybody you may be, from your place at your pace, at whatever speed you want to run, start running and join the race. Join the race to achieve Krishna. That is called Varnashram. And what is the goal of Varnashram? Varnashram acharvata purushena parappuman vishnuraradhyate pantha nanyat tattosha karanam. So, the goal of Varnashram dharma is Vishnu aradhyate pantha. So, Lord Vishnu is here himself speaking. Yaswadharmena mam nityam nirashi shraddhayanvitah bhajate shanakaistasya manorajan prasidati. So one who faithfully shraddhayanvita serves me bhajate through his occupational duties swadharmena and without material desires nirashi, then manorajan prasidati, one becomes satisfied within. So therefore, if you want to be satisfied, that is the secret. The secret of satisfaction is working for the Supreme Lord. So that is the secret of happiness, that is the secret of peace, and that is the secret of satisfaction. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, Bhoktaram yagya tapasam saralokameshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam kyatva mam shantim richati. That is a peace formula. If you accept Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer and serve him. And then he says, what will be the result of this practice? If you practice in this way, giving all your results to me, then slowly one will become dissociated from the modes. And then he'll develop a perfect vision. What is that perfect vision? Equal vision. Samloshtrashma kanchanaha. Tulya mritrari udasina madhyastha dveshya bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. He has an equal vision for everyone. Vidya vinay sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shvapakecha pandita samadarshinaha. So he has an equal vision for all the living entities because he understands that everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And in that pure mind, he attains peace and is actually situated in me and uses the word Kaivalya. So Prabhupada focuses on this word Kaivalya. What is this Kaivalya? It is not an impersonal liberation which Mayavadis think. That is a platform of transcendental loving service. Because Krishna is the foundation of the Brahman. Brahmano hi pratishtha ham. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 14.26-27. And then Lord Vishnu says, what is the eligibility for this liberation? When one understands that the soul is dependent on the super soul. And he fixes his mind on developing relationship to the super soul, then he gets liberated from this samsara. He becomes indifferent from all these material things. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkadaha. He sees that all these are temporary, good, bad, sukh and dukh, heat and cold, name, infamy, glorification and criticism. All these are temporary. This shall also pass. So he is indifferent. And then he says that the jiva can be free from this simply by being indifferent to this body and the senses and supervising them. So that is the equanimity of a devotee. So Lord Vishnu says, what is a devotee's equanimity? He says the devotee, he understands everything in this world is happening by the interaction of the modes. Guna pravaha etasmin kah shapa kah anugraha kah swarga narakah kova kim sukham dukkham eva. Chitraketu Maharaj is telling to Parvati when she cursed Chitraketu Maharaj. What is this? Heaven or hell? Everything is happening by the modes, action of the modes of the material nature. So therefore, then Lord Vishnu says, these devotees, they are very, very attached to me in intense friendship. My baddha saurida. Therefore, my devotees, they are called Surayo. Surayo means they are very, very brave. What is the bravery they have done? Krishna is calling devotees, Lord Vishnu is calling devotees as Surayo, those who are very brave, because they are not agitated by things and the situations of this world. Tatascha Shauri Bhagavat Prajodita Sutam Samadaya Sasutika Grihat. So Vasudev, when he was told by Lord Vishnu, Krishna appeared and he told, "Oh Lord, oh Vasudev, just take me to the house of Nanda Maharaj." So Vasudev is called Shauri. Shauri means a victorious person, a very, very chivalrous person. What victory Vasudev has done? One after another, Vasudev has seen his many sons being killed in front of his own eyes. So Vasudev is described as not having won any battle, but still he's described as very, very brave, very, very chivalrous. So what is the chivalry a devotee performs? What is the braveness in this situation? A devotee never loses hope. So Vasudev, he never lost hope. One after another, Kamsa killed 6 sons in front of his own eyes. But Vasudev did not lose hope. So in this material world, a victorious person is considered to be as a brave person. But Krishna is considering those people as brave who refuse to consider themselves defeated even after getting defeated. That is called bravery in the eyes of Lord Krishna. Those who refuse to accept that I am defeated, because they have full faith that Krishna will protect me. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. So therefore, Lord Vishnu is also telling these devotees, my devotees, they are Surayo, because they are never agitated by the happiness and distress. And then Lord Vishnu says that, my devotees, they develop intense attachment for me. Jnanis, they have to strive for all these bhakti mishra jnana. They have to cultivate knowledge, and then slowly by the practice of varnashram duty, they will attain perfection. But my devotees, they don't have to do all these intense, complicated things. They will get liberated from the samsara just by practicing pure devotional service. Just like when the food is put in the stomach, the Jatharagni, the fire of the stomach, digests the food automatically. We don't have to do anything, After eating food, you don't have to meditate. Okay, now I am digesting my food. I have to meditate on that. No, it happens automatically. Similarly, a devotee does not have to be so much concerned about developing knowledge or developing detachment. Just by performance of bhakti, knowledge and detachment comes automatically. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yogena Sevate. He says that Jnanam Chayat Ahetukam. So Jnana and Vairagya, it comes automatically by the practice of bhakti. Bhakti pareshanubhavi virakta अन्यत्र चैषा त्रिक एक कालः प्रपद्यमानस्य यथाश्नतस्यु तृष्टि पुष्टि क्षुत अपायो अनुघासम bhakti par ish anubhava and virakti. So when somebody performs devotional service, three things happen automatically. One develops feelings for Krishna, one develops par ish anubhav, one develops a direct experience for Krishna, and one develops renunciation from this material world. Just like when somebody eats some food, with every morsel of food, three things happen. Tushti, pushti, and kshut apaya anughasam. With every morsel of food, one feels satisfied, nourished, and the hunger decreases. So similarly, by the process of bhakti, one develops jnana and vairagya automatically. So that is what is described by Lord Vishnu, that if somebody is attached to me and he follows my orders, then automatically he'll be liberated from this material world. So then he says, "Oh Prithu, because you are attached to me within affection, therefore you follow my orders." So Lord Vishnu gives 4 instructions to Prithu Maharaj. He says, first, treat higher, intermediate, and lower entities equally. Secondly, be equipoised in happiness and distress. Thirdly, control your mind and senses. And fourthly, protect your citizens. Prabhupada writes, here is an example of somebody receiving direct instruction from the Supreme Lord Krishna. This may not be possible for everybody, you know. So what we have to do? We have to execute the order of Lord Vishnu, which is received through him or his bona fide representatives, that is spiritual master. When Chakravarti Thakur writes that one should not care so much that he is going to be liberated or not, just be absorbed in serving Supreme Lord. You know, many times the greatest anxiety in the minds of devotees is, will I go to the spiritual world after this life? Will I go to the Golok or Vaikuntha? But Chakravarti Thakur is saying that should not be our anxiety. Our anxiety should be, we have to engage in full-fledged, serious devotional service, you know, because after going there also we have to do the same thing. So we should have to live in the present, not so much thinking about the future. Will I go here? Will I go there? As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, you know, Ashalishya padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam maramhatam karotu. That is a very high consciousness. You keep me in any circumstance, just keep me at the shelter of your lotus feet. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Keet janma ho yadi tua dasa, bahirmukha brahma nahi morash. I am ready to become an insect in the house of your devotee. But I don't want to take birth as a Brahma if he is not your devotee. So therefore, Prithu Maharaj is saying, just become equipoised, treat everybody equally, and then protect your citizens. Why to protect your citizens? Because if a king protects his citizens, he gets 1/6 of their piety. And if he does not protect the citizens, then he will suffer the sins of the citizens. Therefore, by protecting the citizens and protecting the earth according to the principles of religion, O Prithu Maharaj, you will attain detachment from this material world. Your citizens will love you, and you will surely see the great saints like Kumaras in near future. And then he says, after speaking all these things, now Lord Vishnu says, please ask benediction from me. Varam chamatkan chanamanavendra vinishvateham gunashila yantritaha naham khairvai sulabhastapobher yogena vayat samachitta varti. He says, Lord Vishnu is saying, O Prithu, Varam chamatkanchana, please ask from me any benediction. Manavendra, Manava Indra means you are the chief amongst all human beings. Vrinishva te aham guna shila yantritaha. So very interesting line, Lord Vishnu is saying, guna shila yantritaha. So Lord Vishnu is saying, I am very much captivated by your elevated qualities and excellent behavior. Therefore, Vrinishva, I am favorably inclined towards you. It is not possible to please me by makhai, by tapa, by yoga, by sacrifices, by austerities, and by this Ashtanga yoga. It is not possible to please me by all these things. I am not pleased by all this. Samachitta vritti, those who are equipoised and those who have good qualities, I am pleased by those devotees. So therefore, the ornament of a devotee is a good character and good behavior. You know, that is called sadhavo sadhu bhushana. Titikshava karunika surida sarvadehinam ajata shatrava shanta sadhava sadhu bhushana. So this should be our daily endeavor to develop good qualities, because good qualities is what pleases Krishna. The whole Bhagavad Gita, whole 13th chapter, list of qualities are given, 14th chapter, list of qualities, 16th chapter, divine qualities, 14th chapter, divine qualities, So throughout Bhagavad Gita, in many places, Krishna is telling about so many qualities which we have to develop. In 12th chapter, again, so many qualities are described. So therefore, he's saying, Guna Shila Yantritaha. I am controlled by good behavior and elevated qualities of devotees. So good qualities, they please everyone. So it is our responsibility to develop these good qualities. Naham vedair na tapasa na danen na cha ijjaya shakya evam vidho drashtum drishtavan asimam yatha bhaktya tunanyaya shakya ahamevam vidho arjuna gyatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, you cannot know me by Naham vedair, from the study of the Vedas, tapasa, by doing austerities, dana, charity, you cannot know me, ijjaya, worship, you cannot know me. You can only know me by bhakti. Only bhakti can please Krishna. Only pure devotional qualities. So therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport that Lord is here openly saying that all these things of austerity, sacrifice, charity, they cannot please. Krishna is pleased by the good qualities. If somebody is doing Nirjal Ekadashi, and he is thinking, "Arre, dekho, nobody is able to fast. Just look at me. I am fasting. Nirjal kar raha hu, malum hai? Nirjal kiya hai kabhi? Fallen devotee. I am doing Nirjal. Since last 10 years, I am doing every Ekadashi, Nirjal Ekadashi, you know that. Krishna is not pleased by all these proud words. No, but Krishna, you cannot impress Krishna by any of the qualities, any of the expression of, excellence in this world. You can only please Krishna by pure, unalloyed devotional qualities. And Prabhupada writes about the 26 qualities a devotee should try to develop. What are the 26 qualities? It says Kripalu Akrita Doha Satyasarasam Nidosha Vadanya Mridu Shuchi Akinchan Sarvopakaraka Shanta Krishnaika Sharan Akama Aniha Sthira Vijita Shadguna Mitbhuk Apramatta Manad Amani Gambhira Karuna Maitra Kavi Dakshamauni. He is kind to everyone. These are lifetime project, which Krishna is giving to all of us to develop these qualities, and this will develop automatically. Of course, we have to try to develop these qualities, but we should not go out of the way. चलो ये quality develop करना है, थोड़ा chanting कम करते हैं, ये quality develop करने पे ध्यान देंगे. We have to try, but at the same time, we should know that by the practice of devotional service, these qualities will come automatically. Kind to everyone, does not quarrel with everyone, fixed in the absolute truth, equal to everyone, faultless, charitable, mild, clean, simple, benevolent, peaceful, completely attached to Krishna, have no material hankerings, meek, steady, self-controlled, does not eat more than required, sane, respectful, humble, grave, compassionate, friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. So these are the qualities Krishna is expecting us to develop. And then, Lord Vishnu says that how he is very, very happy with Prithu Maharaj, and he shows very affectionate dealings with Prithu Maharaj. So then Prithu Maharaj accepted all the instructions of Lord Vishnu on his head, and then Indra, he was very much ashamed of his own activities. He touched the feet of Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj, he gave up all hatred and embraced Indra. And therefore Prabhupada writes that these are the qualities of the great souls. They forgive everyone, And therefore Prabhupada writes that there is a dire need in this world to propagate this Krishna consciousness. Because unless this Krishna consciousness movement is spread all over the world. People will not develop these qualities which Prithu Maharaj is displaying. And therefore, people will not be able to forgive others. So if you want to make this world free from rivalry, competition and envy, only way which is possible is Krishna consciousness. So then Prithu Maharaj worshipped the lotus feet of the Lord and he was in great ecstasy. And then something interesting thing happened. Lord Vishnu was about to leave, but because he was so much moved by the devotion of Prithu Maharaj, he did not depart. He stayed for some time to accept the loving devotional offerings of Prithu. So Prithu Maharaj, he was overwhelmed with ecstasy. He was crying tears, and because of his tears, he could not see the Lord. It is, so some of us may have experienced this. When we are in so much happiness, we start crying. And Prithu Maharaj is in ecstasy. He's trying incessantly. Tears are pouring out of his eyes. So he wanted to embrace the Lord, but he did not do that physically. He embraced the Lord in his heart, and he stood there with folded hands. And in this purport, Prabhupada writes very brilliant purport in this 21st verse about the Krishna conscious government. So Prabhupada writes that, Prithu Maharaj was such a responsible king that he became such a first-class devotee that he was expressing symptoms of ecstasy. And that is how a king should be. He should be a very genuine Vaishnava, just like Yudhishthira Maharaj, it's described. He was such a great devotee, such a great king, that even his glories were reaching all the 14 planetary systems. Avipala Dharmaraja Pitriyas Ranjayan Prajan Ispriyas Sarva Kamebhyo Krishna Padanu Sevaya. His mind was focused on Krishna's service. So now what happened? Something amazing thing happened now. So Lord Vishnu, he touched his feet on the ground. Generally, all the devatas, when they come to the earth, they don't touch the ground. So Lord Vishnu, because he's also staying in this material world, he's like stays in this Kshirosagar, Shvetadvipa. So when he comes, he also follows the activities of devatas. He was not keeping his foot on the ground. He was just in the air. But now, seeing the devotion of Prithu Maharaj, Lord Vishnu his feet touched on the ground. But Acharyas say that he put his hand on the Garuda to take support, because Lord Vishnu is not used to keep his feet on the ground. So that is how Lord Vishnu is so very moved in ecstasy, that he is not able to, keep his balance. So he is just putting his hand on the shoulder of Garuda just to keep, take a support. So the shloka of this this is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the 26 qualities of a devotee. I'll put on the group. So now after this, Prithu Maharaj starts offering beautiful, beautiful prayers. So series of very wonderful prayers worth memorizing comes in this chapter. Now it will come. So now, because Lord Vishnu told Prithu Maharaj to ask benedictions. So Prithu replies, "Arey, you are asking me to ask some benedictions, requesting me to ask some benedictions, but how can an intelligent person ask benediction from you? Only a fool will ask a material benediction from you. Varan vibhovad tvad varadeshwarad vibho katham vrinita guna vikriyatmanam ye narakanam apisanti dehinam tanish kaivalya pate vrinena cha." Says, Varan vibho tvad varadeshwarad buddha. My dear Lord, you are the best of all the demigods who can offer benedictions. Varad Ishwarad. Just like in Kanchipuram, there is a deity of Varadaraj. So he's saying, you are Varadeshwarad. You are the best of the devatas who can give benedictions. But Buddha katham vrinite. Why should learned person ask benediction from you? And that benediction which is meant for living entities who are bound in the three modes of material nature, Gunavikriyatmanam, because this happiness which a person gets in this world, it is available in every species of life. Ye narakanam api santi dehinam. The benedictions are easily obtained. We don't have to struggle. Happiness is available in every species of life. Tani shakaivalya pate vrinena cha. My dear Lord, you are certainly, you can bestow this highest benediction of merging in Brahman also, but I do not want that also. I do not want merging in Brahman. So therefore, the happiness of this body is available in every species of life. Jantu vai bhave tasmim yamyam yonim anubrajet tasyam salabate nirvratirna virajyate. In all species of life, everybody gets a particular type of happiness. Even a hog feels the stool which he is eating is most relishable, like we relish halwa, butter halwa or pineapple halwa. Every species of life thinks I am enjoying the best. Happiness is available in every species of life. Devotee is not interested in material pleasures, what? And devotee is not interested in liberation also, then what to speak of material pleasures, As Dhruv Maharaj says, Ya nirvritastanubhritam tava pad padma dhyanat bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyat sa brahmani sumahimanyapinatama bhut kim tvantaka silulita patatam vimanat. Nirvriti, the happiness which is obtained by dhyanat bhavajjat katha shravana. The happiness which is obtained by hearing your pastimes, by remembering you, cannot even compare liberation, Brahman. What to speak of the ordinary material pleasures of this world? It is not even consideration for a devotee. So therefore, Prabhupada quotes this Prabodhanand Saraswati, who says that Kaivalya is like hell. Brahman, impersonal Brahman liberation is like hell because there is no service there. All the happiness which one gets is like the willow wisp, the flowers in the sky, they do not exist. So therefore, devotee is not interested in all these things. So Prithu Maharaj is saying, I am not interested in any benediction. So then, what do I ask? So he says, Prithu Maharaj is saying, I do not want all these benedictions of the material world. I do not want to merge in Brahman also. Give it to those people who want to take pleasure in Brahman. What do I want? Nakamayena tadapyaham kvachin nayatra yushmat charanambuja savaha mahattamaikan tridayan mukachyuto vidhatsa karna yuta eshamevaraha. He says, Nakamaye, I do not want any benediction, even the benediction of merging into your existence, because nayatra yushmat charana ambuja asavaha. Because in liberation, I cannot taste the nectarian beverage of your lotus feet. So what do I want? Mahattamaikanta hridayan mukhachyuto. I want to hear your glories from the mouth of your pure devotees. So what do you want? Vidhatsva karnayuta eshamevaraha. I want millions of years. So therefore, Prithu Maharaj is saying, these topics, they are described by your devotees, and therefore, because the topics, when they are described by your devotees, the Krishna Katha, the nectar is dripping from their mouths. So therefore, I want to hear that Katha. I do not want to miss anything, not even a drop I want to waste. Therefore, I want millions of years, because there are millions of devotees talking about millions of pastimes of you, O my Lord. I do not want to miss even a single thing. Therefore, I want millions of years. Therefore, Krishna Katha, when it is spoken by devotees, it becomes very relishable. Shukumukad Amrit Dravya Samyutam. So in Krishna, he would steal butter from the houses of the gopis. So all the gopis, they would go and they would complain to Mother Yashoda. You know why they would complain to Mother Yashoda? Because they would think, oh, Krishna's stealing, butter stealing is so very beautiful. It is worth seeing this pastime of Krishna stealing the butter. But Mother Yashoda, she is not so fortunate because Krishna never steals from her house. So let us give her the chance to relish this pastimes. So that's why they would go and they would tell all these Leela of Krishna stealing butter. So this, therefore, whole Bhagavatam is filled with prayers of the devotees who want to hear Harikatha from the mouth of the devotees. So that is how, Rupa Goswami also says, Tunde Tandavini Ratam Vitanute Tundavali Labdhaye Karna Krod Kadambini Ghatayate Karna Budebhya Spriham Chetah Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kritim No Jane Janita Kiyadramritai Krishneti Varnadvai. So he's saying, Tunde Tandavini, when I chant the names of Krishna, the names of Krishna start dancing on my tongue. Ratim Vitanute Tundavali, I want millions of tongues to chant. And when the same Krishna Katha enters my ears, Karna Krod, I want crores of years, millions of years. Karna Arbudebhya, Arbuda means millions of years. And when the same sound vibration enters the ears and resides on the flower of my heart, all the senses are conquered. No jane janita kiyadbiramritai. I don't know what is the nectar which is there in these two words. Krishna. So this should be our prayer. Oh my Lord, please give me that taste for Harikatha, taste for holy names of the Lord. Otherwise, our situation is so very pathetic many times, At least I can speak about myself, Sitting in Bhagavatam class, speaking, we cannot go to sleep while speaking. Sitting in Bhagavatam class, many times it becomes so difficult. No taste for Harikatha. When sound vibration enters, all the senses, instead of becoming enlivened, get shut off, because we have not tasted this Harikatha since millions of lifetimes. We have become completely, averse to this Harikatha. What is the solution? Yashranvato apayati arati vrit krishna sattvam cha shuddhyet achirena pumsaha smritir harochat purushe cha sakhyam tadeva haram vadmanya sechit. Parikshit Maharaj is telling, when somebody hears Harikatha, all the apayati, arati and vitrishna goes away. Arati means no taste. Vitrishna means no attraction. Everything will go away by this continuous hearing. And then again, next verse is also beautiful. Lord Vishnu, after hearing, may say, but why don't you desire liberation? This liberation is rarely achieved. Ritumara says, I don't want liberation. I want to develop relationship with you. Sauttama shlok mahan mukhachyuto bhavat padambhoja sudhakana nilaha smritir punarvismrita tattva vatmanam kuyoginam no vitaratyalam varai. My dear Lord, Uttama shlok, you are glorified in choicest verses. Mahan mukhachyuto, by the great personalities, bhavat padambhoja sudhakana nilaha. When the devotees of the Lord, when they speak about you, your lotus feet, the sound vibration which is coming from the mouth of the devotees, they are carrying the saffron particles of your lotus feet. And when these saffron particles in the form of the sound vibration coming from the mouth of your devotees enters the ears, smritir punar vismrita, this makes a forgetful living entity again remember his relationship with Krishna. Kuyoginam means we have forgotten Krishna since millions of lifetimes. This forgotten relationship will again get revived by this Harikatha. Therefore, I do not want anything else. Na alam varai, or kuch nahi chahiye mere ko. I just want that Harikatha. I want millions of tongues. I want millions of ears. So therefore, Prabhupada writes, in this world, every one of us, we are like a kuyogi, because we have engaged in service of this material world for millions of lifetimes. But now, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have got a chance to again get connected to this process of Krishna consciousness. E gupta bhava sindhu brahma napa eka bindu hena dhana bilaila samsare aiche dayalu avatar aiche data nahi ar gun keha nare varni bare आपनी करी आश्वादने शिखाइला भक्त गणे प्रेम चिंतामणि प्रबोधनी नाही जाने स्थान स्थान यारे तारे कोइला दान महाप्रभु दाता शिरोमणि. So Mahaprabhu is the best of the givers of benediction. He is tasting himself the nectar of Harikatha and he is giving this Harikatha to everyone. But we should not feel I am qualified for it. One devotee went to Prabhupada and says, Prabhupada, what was our qualification that we got this process of bhakti, Krishna consciousness? He thought Prabhupada will glorify him. Prabhupada said, you had no qualification. I made your qualification. And Prabhupada went to Africa to preach, and he reached there, the night he washed his clothes, next morning, he went to the rope line to get his clothes and the clothes were missing. Somehow he wore another set of clothes and he sat for giving Bhagavatam class. He found that one of the disciples was wearing his dhoti, other was wearing his kurta, other was wearing his uttari. And Prabhupada was shocked. He began with saying that one should not steal the clothes of the spiritual master. That was the level Prabhupada started with. So everything is given by the mercy of Prabhupada. What we have to do is we have to just take it with a sincere and grateful heart. That is a patra we should have. Gratitude is not a part of bhakti. Gratitude is bhakti, as Radhanath Swami Maharaj says. We have to be grateful for whatever we have got. So therefore, Prithu Maharaj continues his prayers. He says, "Oh my Lord, only an animal will give up hearing about your pastimes. Yashashivamshu Shravarya Sangame Yadrichaya Chopashnoti Te Sakrit Katham Gunagyo Viramed Vina Pashun Shriryat Paravre Gunasangrahichaya." Only an animal will give up associating with your devotees. Only an unintelligent person will leave association of devotees. Even Lakshmi Devi is hankering to hear your glories from your devotees. So therefore, please give me your pure unalloyed devotional service, And then he says that I want service of your lotus feet. But then he says, oh my Lord, I want to serve your lotus feet. But Lakshmi Devi is also serving your lotus feet. So there may be a quarrel between me and Lakshmi Devi, So, he is now in a different rasa. He says, I also want to serve your lotus feet. Lakshmi Devi also is massaging your lotus feet. So there may be a quarrel, I don't want to replace her. She's in Madhurya. I am in Dasya. But there may be a quarrel between us. But please, I know you will take my side. So he says that I am hopeful that you will take my side because you are affectionate to your, poor devotees. You are Deen Vatsala, and I am so fallen. Please take my side whenever there is a quarrel. So Prithu Maharaj here is expressing his Veera Bhakti, Chakravarti Thakur writes, a desire of competition between Lakshmi Devi and him. And he wonders that if he quarrels, then Lord will take his side. And then he says that not only I, but all your devotees request this benediction of service from you, my Lord, because this is the greatest treasure of a devotee. So therefore, Lord may say, okay, then why do I ask my devotees to request benediction? You are saying the greatest benediction is your service. So Lord is thinking, then why should I ask for benediction? So Chakravarti, Prithu Maharaj says, yes, all your words and the words given in the scriptures, they are bewildering. Asking for a benediction for material things of the world, they are Jagat Vimohini. When the scriptures, they say you do this, you will get this, and you are saying, okay, you ask benediction, these are all bewildering. I'm not interested in all that. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj says, you give whatever is best for me. That is a very wonderful prayer we have to make to the Lord. We may have hundreds of desires, but we have to pray to Krishna, please give me what you think is best for me. Tvanmaya yadha jana isha khandito yad anyadashastaritatmano buddha yatha charet bala hitam pita swayam tatha tvamevarhasi nah samihitum. He says, my dear Lord, Tvanmaya adha, by your illusory energy, people in this world, living entities, they have forgotten their constitutional position. out of ignorance, they are always thinking about getting material happiness. But you are like a father. Just like a father, he does not wait for the son to demand. He Father automatically provides whatever is good for the son. So therefore, you are like my father, oh my Lord, please give me what is best for me. Then after this, Prithu Maharaj, folded his hand and he was standing. Now Lord Vishnu starts speaking. He says, may you have bhakti for me. That is the purpose. That is the best thing I can give to you. By this bhakti process, you can cross all this ocean of material existence. So therefore, Prithu Maharaj requested for the most beneficial thing, and Lord awarded bhakti. So therefore, the conclusion is bhakti is the most beneficial thing. And then Lord Vishnu says, please execute my orders very carefully. Don't be misled by anything. And then Lord appreciated the beautiful prayers of Prithu Maharaj. And then he decided to leave. So Prithu Maharaj, he honored everyone. He worshipped all the devatas and the sages and Putris, Gandharvas, Siddhas with sweet words. And then all of them returned home. So Lord, then Supreme Lord also left for his abode. Prithu Maharaj returned to his kingdom. And then the next chapter begins with the title of Instructions of Maharaj Prithu. So Prithu Maharaj, he now enters the kingdom. So the whole kingdom was beautifully decorated, with the pearls and the garlands and the golden gates, unbroken fruits. Then all the citizens came to welcome Prithu Maharaj, headed by unmarried girls, and they are called Kumaris. And Prabhupada writes, these unmarried girls, they are very, very auspicious. That's why in any procession, still in South India and so many other temples, in front of the Lord, all these small unmarried girls, they walk with beautifully dressed and ornamented, and they also dance. That is a very, very auspicious thing. There was a grand welcome to Prithu Maharaj, but Prithu Maharaj, he was not proud of all these things. This is a sign of the great personality. He's never ever proud of all these welcome. So he reciprocated with blessings, and then ultimately, this Prithu Maharaj, it is described by Maitreya Muni that he performed so many glorious activities, and at last he attained the lotus feet of the Lord. And after that, Maitreya Muni became silent. So now Maitreya Muni became silent. So again, Vidura has to ask something. So now again the camera shifts from Maitreya Vidur to Suta Goswami and Shaunakadi Rishi. So Suta Goswami is telling to Shaunakadi Rishi that after hearing Maitreya Muni speaking about Prithu Maharaj, Vidura, he wanted to know more about Prithu Maharaj. So now again Vidura is asking Prithu Maharaj, Maitreya, that please explain more of the wonderful pastimes of Prithu Maharaj. And then Maitreya Muni continues the discussion that Prithu Maharaj, he lived in this area between Ganga and Yamuna, and he performed all these beautiful pious activities, and he was the unrivaled king of all this tract of land, and he exhausted his pious activities by enjoying it. And therefore Prithu Maharaj, he was such a great king that he served all these brahmanas, he performed so many sacrifices. And then Maitreya Muni describes the beautiful bodily features of Prithu Maharaj. And then he says, Prithu Maharaj, once he was speaking to all the residents of his city. He spoke in a very beautiful speech. And he gives 7 qualities of Prithu's speech. So these are the qualities of a speech. When we are speaking, we should have these 7 qualities. Charu chitrapadam slakshanam rishtam gudham aviklavam sarvesham upakarartham tada anudavanniva. So what are these 7 qualities? Charu, beautiful. Chitrapadam, very, very flowery or full of metaphors. Mrishtam, very great. Gudham. Gudham means meaningful and grave. Slakshnam. Slakshnam means clearly understandable. And sarvesham upakaranartham, it should be for the benefit of all. And then Prithu Maharaj gave wonderful instructions to all the citizens. So he approaches the citizens and he's asking that I am proposing something for your approval. Although Prithu Maharaj is such a great king, he is the incarnation of Lord. He does not have to ask these sages and the devotees and all the great persons who are assembled there. He is a supreme Lord, but out of his humility, he is asking, I am presenting this for your approval. So the same case we just heard about the activities of Parikshit Maharaj also. Parikshit Maharaj, when he decided to fast till death, all the great sages came. He spoke the same thing to all these sages. I have decided to fast till death. Please, I need your approval. So therefore, it is a very, very important, important quality to take approval from the superiors of whatever decision we may take. When we take approval from the superiors, our opinions become conviction. So therefore, our conviction needs approval from the authorities. So the devotees, they may say, "Arey, you are the king, and you have all the right to say whatever you want, and we'll follow you. We will worship you." But Prithu Maharaj says, "No, I have been appointed king by the Lord's grace. It is a duty of the king to protect the citizen from the thieves, to give occupation to the citizens, to establish the respect for the rule of Varnashram, and therefore I am carrying this rod of punishment. So please," then he instructs the citizens. He says, "Please follow the Varnashram system, worship the Supreme Lord, because if you worship Supreme Lord, you execute your duties properly, then I will achieve the desired destination. Otherwise, I will suffer the sinful reactions also. I lose the wealth and power. So therefore, O my citizens, please do your duties properly, follow the Varnashram system, keep remembering the Supreme Lord. Adhokshaja dhiyaha." And then he says, whatever you will do, I will be responsible for it. Because after death, the result of an action is equally shared by the doer, the director, and the approver. So all these three people, they share the reactions. Doer, one who does the activity; the director, one who guides the person; and one who approves it. So therefore, you please engage in dharmic activities so that I will also get a higher destination. So therefore, Chakravarti Thakur writes that if a king is elevated to the heavenly planets, the citizens who cooperated by approving of his methods will also be elevated with him. So somebody may say, "But how can you institute the worship of the Lord? Your father did not believe in the worship of the Lord. He was an atheist." So Lord Prithu Maharaj says, "Don't worry. According to the authoritative statements of the scriptures, there must be a supreme authority. And that is described in the scriptures. He is beyond the sense perception. One has to worship that Supreme Lord by this Varnashram system. And there are so many authorities who are telling that there is Supreme Lord. Manu, Dhruva, Uttanapad, Priyavrata, Anga Maharaj, Brahmaji, Shiva, Prahlad, Bali. He quotes so many personalities. And then he says two beautiful verses. Yat pada seva bhiruchis tapasvinam ashesh janmo pachitam malam dhiya sadya shinotyan hamedhati sati yatha padangushta vinistrita sarit. He says, devotional service cleanses the mind of a devotee. Yat pada seva, just by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, ashesh janma upachitam malam dhiya. The sins accumulated since millions of lifetimes gets purified. It's like Ganga. purifies a person by taking bath. Similarly, devotional service purifies the heart. And then he says that a devotee, he does not surrender for material gains. Vinirdhutashe manomalappuman asanga vijnana vishesha viryavan yadangri mule kritaketana punar nasim sritim kleshavaham prapadyate. Vinirdhut ashesh mano malah puman. Vinirdhut means completely cleansed. Manomala, the contamination which is there in the heart of a devotee, completely becomes cleansed, and he develops detachment from this material world. And then what is the result? One who has taken shelter, angri moolam ketana. Ketana means shelter. One who takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, he does not have to surrender to this material life. He is liberated person. When sound vibration enters the ears, one becomes completely cleansed of all the sinful activities. So therefore, Prithu Maharaj says, render devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. Engage your mind, body, and the words. And this way, Prithu Maharaj then tells them to serve the Supreme Lord in whatever situation they are. And then he says that all you citizens, because you are worshipping the Supreme Lord, you are showing lots of mercy on me. And then Prithu Maharaj finally says that please serve the devotees of the Lord. And he glorifies Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. He says, please do not offend them, because they are the cause of Lord's reputation. Very wonderful verse spoken by Prithu Maharaj here. He says, Brahmanya Deva Purusha Purantano Nityam Hariryat Charanabhivandanat Avapalakshmim Anapainim Yasho Jagat Pavitram Chamahattamagrani. So he says, Lord Vishnu is always meditating and worshipping the lotus feet of these Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Therefore, never ever offend them. The same thing was spoken by Lord Vishnu, the four Kumaras, He also said, because I am worshipping the lotus feet of my devotees, I am putting the dust of my devotees on my head. Therefore, Lakshmi Devi is not ready to leave my service. So Prithu Maharaj is also saying the same thing. Therefore, he says, serve these devotees. When you serve the devotees, Lord is pleased, He is satisfied, and you will be satisfied, and you will get liberated. Supreme Lord, He eats through the mouth of these Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So therefore, please put the dust of these devotees on your head. Tesham pada sarojarenum aryavaheyadi kiritamayu tam nityada bibhrata ashupasham nyasyatyamum sarva gunam bhajanti. So he says, actually, I also perpetually carry the dust of the devotees on my head. So therefore, anybody who does that gets liberated. The only wealth of the devotees is good character. Same again, Lord Vishnu told, and now Prithu Maharaj is also telling the same thing, that good character is the wealth of the devotees. And then in response to this, all the citizens, they praise Prithu Maharaj, and then they say that just like a father is delivered by the son, you have also delivered Veena from this hellish planet. May you blessed with a long life. May you have a great devotion to the Supreme Lord. And then Prithu Maharaj, he was very, very affectionate to his citizens. All the citizens, they glorified him, and they respected the Supreme Lord. So this way, the 21st chapter also ended. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, there's some questions. Soul and super soul are qualitatively same. How to understand this? Yes, soul and super soul, they have same qualities qualitatively, So quantitatively they may be different, but qualitatively they are same. It's like the 9 qualities or 10 qualities of super soul are described, that he is one. So we are also one individual, but we are unlimited. We are anek. He is that one person. So of course, when we say that qualitatively we are one, so almost all the qualities are same. But if you go into the detail, we'll understand that Jiva, Lord Krishna has 64 qualities, Lord Vishnu has 60 qualities, Lord Shiva has 55 qualities, and Brahmaji has 50 qualities. So almost qualitatively also we are almost same. So that is a general principle, but in that also there is some difference. We are not completely same in quality also. But general principle is we have all the qualities, we have 50 qualities, but in very minute amount. That's why we are qualitatively same as the Supreme Lord. Okay, so we'll stop here. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.